Some of these people were willing to camp out here for days. So what makes Supreme clothes worth all the bother? What kind of profit can you make on this stuff?
Hundreds of dollars. Better than a 9 to 5, if I would say so myself.
What's going on, everybody? It is without a doubt the streetwear industry has taken off within the past few years. From once being considered an underground niche fashion style for skaters, streetwear is now worn by the masses and even made its way into designer brands. And when something is this popular, there's always money to be made in the resale market. So in today's video, we sit down with Jacob Starr and Scott, who are both experienced resellers with their own specialized methods in reselling. We go over exactly how to resell, what makes them successful, and tips and advice they have for anyone starting out. Let's get right into it. What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be doing a part 2 of do's and don'ts of reselling. Today we're going to focus a little bit more on the streetwear aspect. We got a very special guest in the building, Jacob Starr, aka the Manual God. You sold thousands and thousands in streetwear, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We got to get into what type of reseller are you and what makes it successful.
So for me personally, I resell anything with margins.
Okay.
So if I can, buy something for 50 cents, flip it for $2.50, I'll do that, right?
It's a come up.
Yeah, exactly. I look at it all as a percentage. So as long as I can make about 50% profit, then I'm gonna resell it. So
Got it.
Sneakers, streetwear, vintage. I love vintage a lot, but I kind of have my origins in streetwear.
With that being said, what is like one advice or like the number one advice you would have for anybody out there trying to get Supreme manually?
You kind of have to know the market. I would say that it's not always the hype piece that resells, which we'll talk about. You kind of have to do research on Supreme, and when it comes to actually copying manually, there's a bunch of different techniques that manual users can do. So when you look at what happens in Europe, you can find out like the layout of the website, where the item
layout
is. Yeah, so you can try to basically just refresh the website and have your mouse ready to click that item.
Yeah, and then people are gonna discuss it afterwards. Oh, this sold out first, this sold out.
I obviously check out everything manually. Like you said, I do live cops almost every Thursday. I am part of a Discord group that kind of helps me check things out as well. I'm not sure
Discord.
how familiar you are with Discord.
Discussions, helping people out. You gotta pay for some of them, right?
Yeah, so the Discord group that I'm a part of is the Lace Network.
Okay.
So essentially, they will help me by they have actual bot users that will run slots for people. Any user can.
Hold on. I gotta talk about this, man. The Manual God, you're cool with bots too?
I'm cool with anything, man. Honestly, I love
We gotta
competition.
talk. All right, bring this up.
I love
Clear this out,
man. A lot of people, when competition comes,
hate bots.
right? They'll hate on anything. For me, I've never used bots myself. I don't know how to use a lot of the bots that work because it is not as simple as just clicking and you get what you want.
It's like coding and just
you have to have
crazy
proxies.
Yeah,
There's a lot more that goes into it that people don't understand. So basically, what I'll do is I will pay someone who actually knows how to do bots or run bots, right?
Oh, got it.
And I'll pay them like a fee on top, and it's a
How
pay
much
after success fee.
around?
It depends on the item.
Oh, okay, so they'll do it by the item that they'll go for.
Yeah, and you only pay if they get you the item. So it's
really?
like, yeah, basically.
That's
so it's
dope.
like if they take an L, because anyone can take an L. If they take an L, you don't have to pay.
I'm sure throughout the years you've seen what kind of works, what bots have worked, and then you continue working with them, right?
Usually what will happen is different bots will come up. I mean, Cyber is a pretty consistent one. Kodai is a consistent one. This season, we've seen a lot with like Mech, which is a Supreme bot specifically. And usually the Discord group will run slots on all these different bots so that they have like top tier. They're not using like entry level bots. That being said, for me personally, I know which bots do well, but I don't know how to use them, and a lot of these bots go upwards of like $3,000 to $5,000.
All right, so in the previous video, we focused a little bit more on sneaker reselling. What makes you focus more on streetwear rather than sneakers?
So for me personally, I feel like sneakers is definitely the better way to go. If you want to get into reselling, sneakers is definitely,
Really?
I tell people all the time, you have to do a lot
Sneakers
more.
is crazy right now, bro. You know.
For sure. It's harder to get and it's less consistent. The hustle of it for me is really interesting, right? So there's so many different items that you just don't know the market, and there's so many different variables to it. So like, for example, you may have seen the Supreme burner phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the burner phone, right? That's not sold on StockX. So the accessibility of that item is a lot less.
So with that being said, would you say it's a little bit more exciting because you just don't know what's going to pop off?
There's a million items that you might cop that, may not even sold out for the first 5 minutes that end up doing really well. And I actually brought some of those items to show you a little bit later.
Okay. All right, so one thing I want to talk about, I've even noticed this with other items, like even Rolexes, sneakers, even people I know are doing it on IG and whatnot, raffling. So they'll basically buy an item, instead of reselling that item for whatever it's going for, they'll raffle a bunch of slots to people to resell. Do you do this or talk about it?
I do.
What's your take on it?
So I do raffles on a page called Robotus and Poppy. I like doing raffles. Obviously, a lot of other people like it. It's definitely a unique way to kind of sell your product. But I do try to, when I talk about the videos, I try to say from a perspective of a regular reseller, because I obviously have an audience, so it's a little bit easier for me to fill those raffles.
Yeah.
With a lot of other people, it might be a little bit more difficult to get those slots.
Fill them all up.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving people a chance to get that item for way cheaper.
My slots usually fill up within a couple minutes.
How do you determine the price? So say if something's gonna sell for $500, how many slots are you selling at what price? How do you determine that?
So it completely depends on the item. Usually slots will be between 20 and 30 slots. I limit the number of slots.
Hella.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends. Like sometimes I'll do like 10, but it just depends on the item, because if you do 10 slots for an item, right, you have to make sure that you're not charging, like, you know, if you were to do like a pair of Travis Scotts, those are going for $1,600 right now.
Yeah.
Right. So to do 10 slots on that, you're gonna have to charge $160
Which
per
is
slot.
a lot.
Yeah. And then it's like at that point, it's like I'm paying more than retail for a chance to win these sneakers.
Damn, that's a good point.
You know, so that's where you kind of have to find that middle ground of what works for you and your audience.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Because I don't think people are gonna risk $100-something just to get the sneakers. So might as well sell more slots, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like, yeah, your odds are less, but your risk is a lot less as well. You're not putting up $160. You're putting up, you know, 20, 30 bucks, you know. There are some people where they don't even max out slots, and those I would recommend staying away from, because you don't even know
you're
your
paying.
odds.
Well,
You're paying, and there's no limit to how many people can enter.
bro.
That's where you want to get.
The seller's probably banking.
They're making money.
Hold on,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Hold on, I didn't even think you.
You're like, cut this out. All right, guys, I started a new raffle page.
All right, Jacob. So I gotta ask you, man. You know, you made a ton of videos on this brand, a lot of money off the reselling and whatnot. We've talked about this topic. I gotta ask you the question: is Supreme dead? Is it finito? When we say it, I'm saying box logos, man. It seems like reselling on the box logos is going down. Let me know your perspective, though. It's only right. I gotta get sure. Your take on it, right?
Short answer, no. Definitely not. When you look at what Supreme's accomplished, not many brands can compete with that, and they're so far ahead of second, third, fourth, and fifth place that it's really hard to compare. But a lot of people don't pay attention to the trends, because a lot of people think they'll see a box logo and they're gonna think like, oh, that's gonna resell for $1,000. I'm gonna buy it, and then it sells for $400, like the Murakami box logo. But they don't factor in the fact that when that item, a lot of those items that currently are going for $1,000 were originally reselling for $400, $500, $600.
But you're saying through time it's gonna
Yeah, a
get
lot
there.
of those items will go up over time, and that's kind of
So
where the
what-
research comes into play.
Okay, so would you say someone like me saying Supreme is dead is saying that because they're expecting the resale price to be right away?
Yeah,
and that's how it used to be, right?
Yeah, people are going on. It was kind of like that for like a couple years, but like a lot of people will go on to Supreme. They'll cop the most hyped item that everyone else is going for, that also everyone else is reselling.
Yeah.
Right, and then they'll try to resell it right after with a sea of other people, and then they're like, well, why is this reselling?
A problem. So after speaking with Jacob, I definitely see where he's coming from. He's talking about hot ticket items that were once instant hyped resale, now take a little bit more time to eventually get there. Whereas I'm saying it doesn't seem like there's quite that many items like that anymore. He's saying the value's always gonna be there. I'm saying the hype seems to have gone down a little bit. These are two different ways of looking at it. I can respect both. Overall, man, I feel like you don't have any inside plug. You didn't have any special connections with any brands or reselling. Can you leave the audience, anybody out there wondering how they could get into reselling streetwear, can you just leave them with one advice you would give to anybody out there? You know what I mean?
One.
Because I feel like you really were homegrown with the reselling.
For sure. When I started getting into it, yeah, I didn't have any plugs, and I've definitely developed different connections throughout the years. But I just think persistence, and then trying to find kind of your unique way of doing it, right? Like when I first did dropless videos on YouTube, no one was making a video talking about what was going to release from Supreme.
Got it.
For each week. If it's the mesh with the speller on the side, I would definitely recommend getting those. I do think those will have some resale value. You know, that was not done prior. So when I started doing that, that really started kind of bringing more attention to my channel, because everyone was curious and they wanted what Drops by Jay was releasing in a video format.
Also, I want to talk about this piece right here. We got to talk. I saw you post this on your Instagram. This is insane.
Yeah.
And you got to talk about this come up right here. Obviously, you do vintage as well. We more so focused on your Supreme reselling, but you do vintage. What was the come up on this in the story? Because I've seen this. It's crazy.
Okay, so I was on the way to Portland to go to my friend Cam Gilly's flea market, and on the way there, I just stopped at Goodwill, literally just on the way, and I found this tee. Now, this tee was printed on 3 different tags, which you learn a little bit about tags, obviously. It was printed on a giant tag, but when they ran out of giant tags, they printed on some soft tees. So this is a really, like, a little bit more rare. Some people kind of argue.
It's kind of like a mess up, kind of.
Yeah, I still haven't seen this online. So when I first saw it, I thought it was fake. I didn't know, because you have to kind of know about tags, but I saw that it was single stitch. I saw that it was an actual vintage tee. And so I hit up some friends in the community that know a lot more about vintage than me, and they were like, yeah, that's a real tee, get that. And I was so hyped. I went up to check out, and I was like, I was like, I need to get this. And so then she checks me out. I'm like, this tee sells for like over $1,000, and it was literally $5. Like, I still left the Goodwill tag on there. Do not ever tell the Goodwill employees how much the item is worth, because they can't actually take it back from you. I did not realize that till afterwards. I would have probably just ran out. There's just no way. I'm like, you want to take this back? No, I'm good.
All right, guys. Thank you for checking out this video. Leave down in the comments below if you have any questions. Make sure you guys check out his channel as well. And until next time, we out. Peace. What's going on, everybody? So right now we are with Scott, aka the Travis Scott reselling expert. How have you been?
I've been good. It's been a while since we've been on the channel.
Been a little while. I say we get right into it. All right, Scott. So earlier we talked to Jacob Starr a little bit about reselling Supreme. I know you've dabbled in that as well.
I went into pretty much all types of reselling, whether it be Supreme, sneakers, accessories, but just trying to figure out what worked for me.
Okay.
But Travis Scott.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Travis Scott reselling. What type of reselling do you do, and what makes it successful?
#1 seller for me was Travis Scott, because he does most of his items through pre-order. Yeah, you definitely do have to wait a while because it takes like 3 months.
So it's pre-order, right? But you were telling me earlier there's no cap to how much is purchased.
Yeah, so I would suggest waiting until the last day, because he does release them items per day.
Oh,
but then,
periodically through the week, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And then like the last day of the week, he'll pretty much show everything, and you can save a little when it comes to shipping rather than just paying shipping every day.
Oh, okay. And since it's not going to sell out, it doesn't matter if you're buying on the last day.
Exactly.
Got it. I feel like when it comes to streetwear and sneakers as well, the margin for error is so small that you got to have these like little, you basically got to penny pinch to make that money, right?
Definitely, yeah. You got to like cut corners when you can and save what you can. Another corner, if you want to cut and save as much as possible. I have a friend, he actually did this. He had relatives in Oregon, and you know, no sales tax. So
I see what you're saying.
You know,
okay.
like if you're spending like thousands on the pre-orders, like tax can be hefty.
That is true, and that's money to be made, right?
Definitely.
So you're saying buy the items, ship them to Oregon, and then somehow either go pick them up or have them ship them to you.
Exactly. Maximize your profit.
Got it. All right, so with all that being said, I know a lot of people do make money off the Travis Scott stuff. How do you determine what is gonna resell the most for you personally?
So you just kind of gotta look at each item that he releases. I would say stay away from t-shirts, because I invested in t-shirts and they already have a pretty high retail value, and over time I've noticed they go up only like maybe $20.
Got it. The ceiling isn't that high.
So like for how long you're waiting and investing, it's not really worth it, whereas you can spend like buying on the hoodies $85, and most of the time they do end up going to $150, $160, so you're definitely going to be getting a lot more money.
Okay, your entry point is a little bit higher, but you're going to make more money, you're saying.
Exactly.
So hoodies over t-shirts, what else are you looking out for?
So the #1 item that I've made the most profit off of definitely has to be the black sweats. So
black sweats.
Yeah, he's released 2 of them. So the original was the Astroworld sweats. So I bought a lot of those, and I actually bought a used one and sold it for $350.
Wow.
And that's used.
All right, so the black sweats, you basically are telling people to look out for those.
Pretty much, because they're just going to do really well. Everyone likes to wear them, and they're really easy to rock.
Okay, so a lot of people know you on the channel. Obviously, there was a day that you wore pretty much a $30,000 outfit.
Yes, that was
Disclaimer,
crazy.
I told him to show up with this outfit. He doesn't just rock something like that,
Super
on
wild.
the day-to-day. Trust me, you guys had a field day with that
Pretty
one.
much just rock it for videos or Instagram pictures.
But with that being said, what is your number one advice you would have for buying super high-end streetwear? Because you buy it in the like tens of thousands of dollars. What do you advise for the audience out there?
So it's all about timing, especially right now, because like everything is low. Especially, have you seen the LV Supreme collabs?
The hoodie, right?
Yeah, the hoodies. They were super high, but they've dropped a bit.
You know, the economy is shaky right now, obviously. So it makes sense that people aren't going to be spending $5,000 on a hoodie.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised with the Dior Jordan 1s that people were paying what, $20,000 at one point?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Would you, okay, since you're a big reseller, would you recommend I hold the Dior ones?
They hold crazy potential, and they're what, like 10K right now?
Yeah.
And like I think that's the all-time low for it. If anything, it might go like 9, 8. But if you do hold it, I could see it going back up to like 15 and up.
Never been my strong suit in my past to hold my sneakers, but the Dior ones, I'm gonna keep those in the collection. I sold a pair of Red Octobers, one of my biggest sneaker regrets for dead stock, $3,700.
Dang, that sucks.
Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, that's the right button.
Dang.
Yeah, sold them to Sneakerhead in the Bay for $3,700 with the Nike receipt. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Speaking of regrets, man, as a reseller, you've bought tens of thousands of dollars in Supreme, Louis Vuitton, you name it. What is the biggest regret you've had when it comes to selling or even buying?
Biggest regret when it comes to selling? I don't really have too many regrets other than selling too early. Like, that's just something. I feel like everyone has like seller's remorse.
Yeah, that is true.
That's exactly why I want to stress the importance of timing, because you never know. It could just be one more month and you could make so much more.
One celebrity endorsement or whatever.
Exactly.
I feel like the hoarders of the OG Jordan 1s had like the best timing with the whole
I know.
Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary. Yeah. They were coming out the woodworks.
Definitely.
So that is a great example of timing, waiting for something, you know, relevant to happen that boosts up the value of a pair of sneakers or clothing, right?
That's true. I mean, anything can happen. Look at Gap. Kanye West, like,
oh
what?
Stocks.
Yeah, have you seen the
stocks went up, right?
Shot up, but I was like, wow.
Did you purchase any?
I did not.
Okay. Well,
I'm not that big of hype to follow Gap, but I mean, I might look into it.
I'm not gonna lie. After the news, I walked into a Gap. I was like, let me see what's good. Let me see what's good in here. So besides the Travis Scott merch, what is another thing you would recommend the audience look into for reselling purposes?
So I don't know if this is considered like streetwear, but I love home goods and accessories. Like, if you see in my hype room, like, I got a lot
your
of
hype
stuff.
room is crazy. A lot of accessories.
It's insane. Okay. But those appreciate and value so much. And I love it because, like, unlike sneakers and clothes, you don't wear your accessories.
I see what you're saying.
So 2 pieces I wanted to mention was Cause, and Cause and the brand in general, definitely good buys for holding. I bought 2 figurines, both for under 500, and one of them are going for about 1K, and then the other's going for about 800. So that was a good investment.
Okay.
As far as figuring out when the releases happen, I would say the best thing to do is just follow him on Instagram. So he'll like drop like hints when they're releasing, or Discord groups or forums, anything that has news related. You can pretty much find it. 2020, you know, technologies in a place.
As simple as following the person selling or designing the stuff, right?
Exactly.
They're gonna promote it themselves. Yeah, speaking of that, you know those Bape Supreme Bear Brand? Oh, you tried to buy them for me.
Yeah, I did. I tried the 400%.
Yeah,
right?
I have the whole set, and I was looking. They're going for thousands now.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I purchased those for a retail price, so yeah, those definitely been a good.
I missed the come up. I should have pushed the buying more.
Yeah. All right. So one thing I also want to bring up to you, we did the video about, you know, your outfit and whatnot at the school. This doesn't have to do with reselling and sneaker streetwear, but I want to bring up the concept of people basically poking fun at, you know, people flexing, just being really overcritical of people rocking expensive items. Definitely you got the tail end of it.
Got a lot of it.
Yeah, how'd you handle the comments and whatnot?
It pretty much just comes with the territory. Like, if you're gonna rock crazy expensive flashy outfits, you just gotta know what you're getting into, and just know you're gonna get lots of love, but you're also gonna get a lot of hate.
Yeah,
And
you're basically putting a statement out there, right?
pretty much, yeah.
That's what I always feel about like with Supreme box logos. You're gonna wear it, you're gonna get a lot of love, but at the same time, you got to know there's a territory that comes with spending thousands of dollars on a t-shirt.
That's true, yeah. People are gonna notice, good or bad.
All right, so one thing I want to leave the audience with, obviously you've made a lot of money off sneakers and streetwear. What is one tip and advice you would leave for the audience, anyone that is interested in getting into this world right now?
Definitely capital and patience.
Okay, I mean, I've heard that as well. Can you touch on that?
The more you have, the more you can get. Ideally, you want to buy in bulk and make as much profit as you can. That's how you can do it full time.
I know what you're saying. Like, the more capital, you're gonna be able to make more money right off the bat. Instead of like spending $1,000, making like maybe 100 off that sneaker, flipping it into maybe double. It's gonna take a long time, as if you were to just have 5,000 ready to invest.
For sure, and 100's not gonna pay the rent.
Oh no.
Something else I wanted to add was it's important to find what works for you. Like for me, accessories and Travis Scott worked really well because the market's really saturated. Lots of people want to become like this reseller. Like they love this image of,
it is a thing right now.
I know,
it's an identity, right?
Yeah, like people are like, screw this 9 to 5. Let me get on this.
Which is cool. So that's why I wanted to do videos like this, because I know a lot of people are gonna pursue this world. And that's why I wanted to talk to people like you. If they are going to pursue it, go into it with a lot of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So see what works for you that can separate you from the competition, and because everyone's different.
Yeah.
So something that works for one person is not going to work for me.
I see what you're saying, because you've dabbled in so many different things. You did high-end streetwear, you did sneakers, you did low-end sneakers, but you saw that Travis Scott and accessories was your lane.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for checking out that do's and don'ts of streetwear reselling with Scott. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions. We'll definitely be in the comments as well, discussing with you guys any streetwear reselling tips. And until next time, we out.
Peace.
To wrap things up, the reselling game is a lot bigger than one would think. And even though things are starting to get saturated, there are still a lot of niches and lanes to be filled. As we have heard from everybody that we've talked to, one of the most important things you could do to be successful is to experiment with different methods and really find out what works best for you. We've only scratched the surface of reselling, and there's still a ton more to learn and explore. Let me know down in the comments below if this is a topic you want us to dive even further into. Thanks for checking out the video.